What's up guys and bonjour à tous everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist, and today it's time for a little Q&A story time video. I asked you on Instagram to tell me your questions, like everything around the stage basically. So I'm very happy that there were like so many questions, but on the other hand I'm very sorry I can't go through all of them. If you don't want to miss the next Q&A, go and check out my Instagram so you don't miss it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to support me and this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You'll find the link in the description box. And also, don't forget to check out the merch. Let's get started. Before going on stage, what do you usually do? I used to look up my notes like until like really the second I have to go on stage, because I was like so nervous and I was feeling more and more insecure about my brain. I really thought I'm too stupid to do it, but maybe I am. Anyway, like, you know, I was stressing myself so much. And I was so scared to lose my memory and stuff, you know, like the usual stuff. Everyone has to go through this. But I think it's maybe not the best idea, like out of my experience, to, you know, really look into the scores and check yourself all the time if you really know how to start, what to do if you come to this place and stuff. The more you're doing this, the more you feel insecure, and you really don't want to feel insecure like just 2 seconds before you go on stage. Like, it happened so often to me that I just looked up a part inside the scores and I felt like, I do not really remember 100% which note there is. And then I felt this insecurity for that specific part, and of course I remember which part this is, and then I go on stage. I'm like completely, shit, I can't play this now. and for real, I would mess up this part completely. It was never a problem before, but because I looked it up directly before going on stage, it became a problem. So back to the question, what do I do before I go on stage? I try to move a little bit my arms and my hands to make sure that my wrists and elbows and shoulders are also flexible and warm. I like to think of the beginnings of the pieces, so I make sure like that I know exactly how to breathe, what kind of mood I want to create in that moment. And then, you know, I just try to think of anything else but piano playing. Do you get any say on lighting or presentation of the stage? Normally, yes. You should definitely say if like the light is too much into your face and you're blinded because of this and you can't really see anything, or if the light is not good on the keyboard and there's like half the keyboard shadow. This is also a little bit disturbing. Lighting is definitely an important thing that you should always check before, you know, the concert starts. And also where the instrument is placed on stage. Like, I would like to have it very classic, straight, like parallel and in the middle of the stage. And then sometimes, because the acoustic in the concert hall is always a little bit different, and it can make a huge difference if you move the instrument more towards the audience or away from the audience, because then you will hear yourself a little bit better, or like just in a different way. So just like moving it around a little bit and trying different positions of the instrument can already give you a lot of feedback and help you in specific situations. Okay, one of the most asked questions was how to overcome stage fright. I would say in the end, there is nothing like really overcoming this. Some people are more stressed, some people are more relaxed than others. Everyone is like reacting a little bit differently to this. I was never like really stressed out before going on stage. I mean, like, I'm still nervous, but like more in a, let's say, positive way. I'm excited to go on stage and to share with the people what I practiced and, like, you know, show off a little bit. No. Like, you know, in the end, preparation is everything. The more you practice and the more you feel secure with the piece, the more you will also feel secure on stage. So number one is, of course, practice enough, and never go on stage if you didn't practice enough. Also, practice things that are not like directly involved with the piano. Like, for example, walking on and off the stage, practicing with concert dress, practicing with concert shoes. Try to record yourself as much as possible, also like in your own living room, like here. I'm recording myself like nearly every day, and it helps me a lot because I can give myself a lot of feedback. I can see what I'm doing wrong, where I'm not breathing enough, where I'm not moving enough or moving too much and stuff, you know. And then, of course, give yourself time. If you are playing the very first time on stage or the very first time with this program on stage, chances are very high that things are not going the way that you planned it and that you practiced it. I was most of the time really stressed when I had to play new program on stage, and when I then had like big mistakes or blackouts on stage, I would always like be completely frustrated after the concert. So at some point my professor told me, you know, the first concerts with a new piece normally do not count. Like, you should give yourself this time to get to know the piece needs to get to know you until you feel more and more comfortable to really be completely free on stage. It just takes a lot of time, and the more experience you have, the easier it will be, but give yourself the time. What was the most strange or funny or worst experience you had on stage? Oh god, the strangest experience on stage was when I had to play in jail. Like, I was in kind of a scholarship, it's called Live Music Now, and they are organizing concerts in like very special locations, like schools or jails or these places where you like send all the old people. I don't know how it's called in English. So one time I had to play in jail. It was the only time in my life, and I don't think I will ever do this again because it was really one of the strangest experience I ever had. Like, you really went into jail. I hope I will never end up there because it was really, I was scared to hell. It was very loud. People were talking all the time and like screaming and stuff, and it was like, you couldn't, the piano was really extremely bad. It was an upright, you couldn't hear yourself because people were talking, and there were like 50 people who are actually prisoners and maybe like 3 police officers, and I was like, okay, I have to play now. I think it was never that nervous for a concert, but not out of the reason that I would play wrong notes, but more like, okay, I hope I can leave this place soon again. The funniest concert was definitely in one of these houses for old people. It was also not the best piano there, so it was also very difficult for me to actually get the things out of the instrument that I wanted to have. I was playing Chopin Sonata No. 2. I just finished the third movement, which is like very dark and very, you know, this marche funèbre, and it was so hard to create this dark atmosphere on this instrument. And after this third movement, there is this fourth movement, which is crazy music. It's really 2 minutes of a wind that is like rushing through the grave. So there is this little break between third movement and fourth movement, and there were like literally only 2 minutes left for this concert, and it was like, okay, I'm close to be done, and I'm so happy with what I did before. Like, for the circumstances, it was really hard. So there was this little break, and one of the grandmas in that moment, in this break, she said, I gotta take a shit now. She completely broke the atmosphere. I didn't know if I should laugh or cry in that moment. I was just, why did you just say that? There's just 2 minutes left. I mean, I can understand, you know, there are things, we are human, you know, if we have to do it, we have to do it, so. But in that moment, me as an artist, it was just completely destroyed. The worst concert experience was maybe the one where I actually broke my nail on stage while I was playing the Mephisto Waltz by Liszt. I was like 16, 17. I actually have a recording here, you find it here. And I played this one and my nail broke, and I started to bleed like hell on stage. Luckily, my finger did not hurt in that moment, but like the whole keyboard was full of blood afterwards. I'm so sorry for the Steinway D. Afterwards, I couldn't play piano for 3 days because like the nail didn't really heal up so well, and there was quite a lot of damage, and it didn't really stop bleeding. So like, some pieces can be quite damaging if you're not paying attention enough. How do you play piano without mistakes? I just don't make mistakes. No, like honestly, I don't think that there is any concert where I literally didn't play any wrong note. You know, there are so many notes that we have to play, like thousands and thousands and hundred thousands of notes every time we are going on stage. The chances that you are playing at least one note wrong are very high. I am always counting with, you know, something is going to happen. It's nearly impossible. I mean, like, we are human. It's very normal that we fail. So first of all, we should really let ourselves make mistakes. I mean, like, nowadays it really seems like nobody's making mistakes, but I swear everyone is making mistakes. Even the biggest pianists are making mistakes. So let yourself make mistakes. Don't be scared to make mistakes. It's completely normal and it's really part of the whole learning process and it's part of a live concert. And the second is, don't let yourself too much influenced by all the perfect recordings. You know, nowadays we can really just cut out every wrong note in the recording. We can change everything into the way that it sounds perfectly, but this is not how we play in the end. I also had to learn to deal with this, and for myself, mistakes are like my old friends and we will meet at some point again and again, and also on stage. So don't be scared of them, just take them by their hand and let's do this together. How do you create the right atmosphere? Actually, this is a very interesting question. I would say there are several different parameters how to create atmosphere. The way that you sit in the beginning, actually before you play, or also while you are playing, the way you keep your posture, it says a lot and it can, you know, express a lot to the audience and create tension and atmosphere. Also, you know, just sitting there and the moment that you get your hands up, this is like so much tension in the air. So this is maybe like already the first thing before you start playing, except of, you know, going on stage and stuff, you know. But like the thing before you start playing is preparation and creating this tension for the audience before the first notes even start. Then also, you know, you have to get a feeling for the energy inside the room. You will feel if the audience starts to lose attention, basically. And, you know, at some point, if you feel like there's not enough attention, you can either just stand up like Beethoven and say, I'm not playing for pigs, or you try to really get their attention by creating a lot of contrast in dynamics. Very often, people are getting bored if everything is on the same dynamical level. So if you really have this huge contrast in dynamics and in sound color, people are paying much more attention to you. And especially, for example, if you go very, 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 very low when you're playing pianissimo or, you know, pianississimo, this is the moment where the people are really, really listening to you if it's done properly, because nobody wants to be the one who is destroying these moments or who is like obviously loud while you're playing soft. So yeah, creating different dynamics, sound colors and posture is going to help a lot. And timing. But I'm not going to explain this now, it's too much. Okay guys, so this was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Again, if you don't want to miss the next Q&A, go and check out my Instagram. There I'm always asking the questions in my stories. If you want to support me and this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You'll find the link in the description box, and don't forget to check out the merch. What are your tips and tricks to get along with stage fright? Tell me in the comments down below. We'll see us in the next videos. Bye. Hallo, hallo, hallo. Nimmt er meinen Ton jetzt? Ja, tut er. What's up, guys?